Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. It is an alarming and inequitable fact that 53% of young people in custody in our 6 youth justice centres are Indigenous. It's a problem which has concerned me for some time, but was highlighted again recently when I attended the 2nd annual Youth Justice Corroboree at the Cobbin Youth Justice Centre with the Minister for Youth Justice, the Honourable Jihad Dib. The Corroboree provided Indigenous young people in custody an opportunity to connect with their culture and share dreaming through dance. I would like it noted here in the House that the joy and pride I observed on the faces of these young people participated in the Corroboree spoke volumes about the success of the cultural program in place for incarcerated Indigenous youth. This program is a wonderful collaboration between Youth Justice and the Art Gallery of New South Wales. The Cobham Learning Centre itself was built in 2018 by the Coalition as part of the Aboriginal Yarning Circle. The important point I wish to make is that knowing 53% of young people in custody are Indigenous in all our youth centres around the state, it's programs like these which provide a vital link to connecting them with their unique culture and offers the kids a sense of purpose. Of course, ideally, I support any programs which aim to keep youth out of detention in the first place, but I applaud programs such as this which offer positives during their incarceration. I had the opportunity to speak with some of the young people after the event. They were humble and shy, but they beamed when I told them how much I enjoyed the event. But this is where the serendipity of life really hit me in the youth justice space. Last week I was invited to attend a new play called Saplings, which was a collaboration by the Australian Theatre for Young People and Youth Action, New South Wales peak body representing young people and the services which support them. The cast were all young Indigenous actors, and the play was a series of vignettes portraying the grind of days spent in waiting rooms, waiting for bail, waiting for court, waiting for sentencing. To quote Oscar Wilde, "This was life imitating art." Despite the self-deprecating humour, I couldn't help feel a tinge of sadness. Having been a community corrections officer before, I couldn't help but be moved by how real the play scenarios were. These kids were acting out what I had to have to deal with and situations which ultimately led to them to incarceration. As light-hearted as the actors made it, there's nothing funny about home detention, AVOs, houses with paper-thin walls, no food, and being homeless. I was struck by the reality of what I saw on stage. The opening stage portrayed 2 young, bored Indigenous boys tossing up their options of whether to raid the local survey or watch television, only to realise the electricity had been cut off. Or the scene where they contemplated making money through YouTube or breaking the law so that they could pay their mother's electricity bill. And the scene where a frustrated kid spent hours waiting for his hearing in court, wondering why his legal representation hadn't turned up. As entertaining as the show was, there was nothing funny about the scene where one Indigenous kid contemplated breaking bail just so that he could buy noodles he hadn't eaten all day. I have worked in the corrections system. What I saw on that stage actually happens in real life. This small production highlighted sometimes the justice system is all that stands between these young people and what they want. It raises an important question. How do young Indigenous people grow when the system keeps cutting them down?